Marisa is a big body brawler slash bully character of Street Fighter 6. This is a character that does absurd damage on every hit. She also destroys drive impact, so if you hit them, use her Gladius punch, it destroys armor and can absorb a hit of its own. She does crazy ship damage to the opponent. Their drive gauge will be depleted in no time, and surprisingly for a big body character, she's also decent versus fireballs thanks to her Superman punch that can bypass them and her Gladius that can hit from a long distance. Now this character have a command grab but also have a lot of easy ways to set up safe jumps that you can use to mix up the opponent between strikes and a command grab. And remember, this is a character that does absurd damage output, so the 50-50 is very good. Now Marisa also have one of the best level 3 supers in the game. Not only is it somewhat easy to land, but this one will always carry the opponent to the corner, meaning they will have to deal with your upcoming mix-up with their back to the wall, where drive impact is at its most dangerous. Now it's not all perfect for Marisa because she is somewhat slow in her movement, her normals are also on the slower end, and her anti-air game can be a little bit spotty. You have to use her crouching heavy punch kinda early, and the quarter circle backward move, it moves her forward, so there is a blind spot there. In general, she also kind of lack in defense because everything she does except her level 2 and level 3 supers are throwable, but she does have a way to deal with drive impact meterless with her guard stance. Now did I mention that this is a character that does absurd damage? So as we always do with these videos, we're gonna start first with the character light attack, starting first with Marisa's crouching jab. This is her 4-framer. This is the fastest attack that Marisa got, which makes it pretty good move for interruption. Now Ryu here is gonna do a block string like this one. If I want to interrupt my opponent, if I wanna challenge their block string, this is the move to go for, right? And the good thing about it is that it combos into itself up to 3 times, and you can combo it into the light uppercut slam. I'm gonna call it uppercut slam because the official name is absolutely ridiculous. I don't know how to even pronounce that. But yes, combo into itself 3 times into the light uppercut slam. This does almost 1600 damage, which is well above average for a light confirm actually, so pretty good. Unfortunately, you can't combo it into much else, like it doesn't combo into her standing jab, and you know what, we'll get into that a little bit later because this is an issue with Marisa in general. Now this normal can also be used offensively, like if you wanna press the opponent, I guess like you can use it, but it's a little bit tricky. It leaves you in throw range, so you can do it and then throw the opponent after. We'll obviously go for shimmies and all of that, but the thing about it is that it is negative on block. As you can see, -3. Now in this game, this is very common. Most characters got moves that are negative on block, jabs especially that are negative on block, but if you chain them, like here Ryu is doing 3 rapid jabs, his jab is -1, right? But he's chaining them, and if I do that, right, the opponent, like if they try to interrupt, they were gonna get countered. So here I'm gonna try to interrupt him. Ryu is doing it far too tight, but yes, if I try to mash my jab here, I get hit, I get countered. This is very common in this game. Unfortunately, Marisa, she can't really do that. Here Ryu is gonna block and challenge with the jab. I will always trade here, and yeah, I can't do it that way. It doesn't really work that way with Marisa's 4-framer crouching light punch. But all hope is not lost. There are a couple of alternatives. The first one you can do is cancel the jab into her light Gladius, right? Seen this? So I cancel the jab into Gladius, and because Ryu did his jab, I absorbed the hit and then punished him. Don't do it right away. If you do it right away, as you see here, Ryu's gonna interrupt you. You wanna hold the Gladius until you armor through the hit. Right? So you have to hold the Gladius a little bit. right? But if you want to go for the traditional rapid firing or like chaining lights, you can go with her crouching light kick, which is the next normal. This is a low, it's 5 framers, and this is the one that will frame trap opponents. And this is kind of an issue with Marisa. As you've seen, she doesn't really like rapid fire frame trap with jabs, but more like with crouching light kick. But this is still good because this is a low, got actually pretty decent range for a low, as you can see. And bam, get 2 of them, or get it to counter hit into itself, and then like the crouching jab, or 2 of them and then crouching jab into the light uppercut slam. So yeah, there is an alternative to just rapid fire jabbing. Obviously this is low, you can use it in much of the same functionality you would use her crouching jab. Like you can use it to tick through the opponent after, you can use it for pressure. It's really good. Her crouching light kick is very good, and as you can see, like amazing range for a low, and pretty good with drive rush as well, right? If you do something like crouching medium punch into drive rush, right, shaking with that crouching light kick multiple times, yeah, this is good. This is good stuff. Next up, we got her standing jab, and standing jab by itself is nothing special. The range on it is above average for a light, but this move, it doesn't do much by itself. You kind of have to do the target combo, which is jab jab or light punch, and this move is special cancelable. Now this target combo is useful because you can do a lot with it. First of all, it frame traps, right? So this move by itself, the standing jab, is -2, but if you go for the target combo jab jab, this will frame trap an opponent here, frame trap Ryu if he's trying to interrupt, right? So you can, for example, just do it, 2 of them into Gladius, almost totally safe block string, and if the opponent try to interrupt, they get hit. That is really good. This is also really good for punching. Like if, say, for example, Ryu here did something that is unsafe, jab jab, this will combo on a punish counter, and you can combo into the Sparta Kick, which means that you're actually getting good damage. Since this, like this did 1900, we got almost like 20% from a jab hit confirm or a jab punish. Yeah, that is pretty good stuff. This actually make it kinda decent for checks from long range as well. Like let's here have Ryu do his thing again, right? If Ryu's approaching me like that from some distance and I want to check him, yeah, this target combo is pretty good for that, right? You get the 2 hits and then you can get like the special cancel, bam, into the Sparta Kick, and this gives you a good knockdown, right? What is left is Marisa's standing light kick. And this one, I don't know, like I guess it's good if your opponent like did something like this, like with a crouching a medium kick, that type of move, but the utility of it isn't that high. And generally with Marisa, one of her main issues is that she's one of the very few characters in this game, I don't know if there's anyone else actually, that can jab, drive rush into combos. Right, like you can jab, like 2 jabs into drive rush jab, doesn't work. As you see here, doesn't work, not a combo. But maybe like you can get something like this, like with a whiff punish standing light kick and then drive rush. Like this is pretty much the only utility you're gonna get. But there is also like other options, like this crouching medium punch is so much better for this utility. So I don't know. In general, her lights, they're okay, but probably not her best options for normals in general. Obviously until you're very up close, but her mediums and heavy, let's get to them. So let's now go over Marisa's mediums because they are mostly phenomenal. Starting first with this crouching medium punch, this is very good. This is a workhorse of a normal. It's 8 frames, 26 total frame of animation, so that's good. 8 frames for this sort of range is actually really good, and fully special cancelable. It will always combo into the light. This is Sparta Kick, which means that this is a great buffer, right? Because you can always buffer it in the neutral and buffer either like a Gladius or this is Sparta Kick. You can almost constantly buffer this, and it's also, like I said, cancelable, so it is safe for the most part against DI. Now, because of its range and cancelability as well, it makes it very good for combos if you happen to land like hits from a far distance. Like here I got a jump in, bam. Even though you wouldn't think that it would reach, it absolutely does. It's very consistent in combos. Now, all of this would make this move pretty ridiculous, right? Because there are other applications as well. Like let's say, for example, you did I don't want to do anything on block. Like you did a medium got you, that is Roman Reigns Superman punch. You did that, right? You're at the distance now where you want to shake your opponent. Crouching medium kick or crouching medium punch is probably your best bet, right? Checking with it into Gladius, that is always really good as well. But what makes this move superb is its utility as a whiff punisher, because it's actually truly ridiculous. Here you is gonna whiff a crouching medium kick. They are very prevalent in this game. Everyone want a crouching medium kick drive rush. And this is probably your best whiff punish move against that, right? You will get the punish counter, and this is special cancelable, so you can like combo into Sparta Kick, into Super. This is amazing. But what makes it so good is what you get out of it, because on a punish counter, you will get to combo into the EX. This is Sparta Kick. This is called the EX Sparta Kick, right? And near the wall, this can lead to massive damage. Right? Obviously, you can do like another back heavy punch into Super. You've seen the Marisa combos, you've just seen the intro. So yes, massive damage out of that, right? Or even just go here for like a knockdown. Right? And then this gives you like a safe jump, and then you get to run the show. So absurdly good in the corner can lead to massive damage. Honestly, getting your opponent cornered and fishing for a crouching medium punch with punish, this is one of the key strategies for Marisa. It is absolutely amazing. Now, her other medium punches also don't disappoint, because this one, the little legends about this standing medium punch. It's really, really good. It also can with punish, right? And it got a target combo attached to it, which is like medium. But if you're going for like a low hitbox like that, I kind of favor the crouching medium punch. But yes, it's also very, very good. A lot of the stuff with Marisa is you checking with that medium punch, because as you can see here, the target combo doesn't come out on whiff. So if the opponent happen to runs into it, like you can hit confirm this into combos. And the combo game of the standing medium punch target combo is very big, you know, because you get the light, the EX uppercut slam. This leads to a safe jump, the sequence, the one I just showed, and this can start your party. So it's a very integral move to her combo game, and it's a very good move to fish with in general, because it's 7 frame startup and 4 active frames. This is kind of ridiculous. Now, because of its range and its active frames, it's also really good to use against drive rush. Yes, I got hit, right? But yes, you can use this against drive rush, and it is for the most part consistent. Between this and crouching medium punch, if they're drive rushing from a distance, I will say go for crouching medium punch. It is a better option. But if they are a little bit closer like that, standing medium punch is really good. Decently fast 7 frame startup, and you do get massive follow-ups here. I will leave a combo section at the end so you can have an idea on what it can do. Now, on block, this move also kind of have a mix-up going on, right? Because the 2 hits here, they are a canned string. Like the opponent can't mash between them. They are totally airtight block string. But the thing is, if you do it by itself like that, it is -8, so it is unsafe. And herein lies a mix-up, because if you just do the 2 of them, you are unsafe, but you can say combo into Gladius, or just cancel into Gladius, or like even try to charge it, but this carries some risk, obviously. So you can go into Gladius or like the Superman punch, right? But the thing is, the opponents here, they can try to mash the reversal. Like let's here have Ryu do an EX Shoryuken after this one. Or an OD Shoryuken, right? I still can't get used to the name OD. Right? So this can happen. An opponent mashing Shoryuken like that, this can happen. And this can like... because as you see, even if I do it on block like that and not cancel, I'm still at a punish counter state. Even if I go for like the Superman punch, he punishes me. But I can charge the OD Gladius. And now I get a punish on him, as you have seen. But in this situation, like he can also super, like Ryu here. Let's have him do his Shinko Hadouken, and Shinko Hadouken will beat my OD Gladius. So there's a little bit of a mix. If you want to be as safe as possible, you're gonna try to drive rush it, right? This is the way to make it as safe. But there's a mix between reversal and regular Gladius. holding OD Gladius to be the reversal, especially depending on the number of hit it does, or maybe the opponent is gonna do super. There is an inherent mix, but drive rushing it to make it safe is really good. Now, if the opponent is trying to jab here, like I said, there is the idea of holding Gladius to absorb the hit and punish them. You can drive rush here and then go into normal, right? Like here I did the medium punch into crouching medium punch, and this got me like the hit confirm. So yeah, there's like it's a move that is very good in combos and can also set up mix-ups. It's a big part of your pressure game in general with Marisa. Next up is her forward medium punch, and this move is really good in the neutral. It got 2 target combos attached to them, which is like forward medium punch into heavy kick. And the good thing about this one is that you can cancel it into super, right? The legend saying that this move is hit confirmable, although I think it's a little bit difficult. And the thing is, this also kinda whiffs on crouching opponents, like the second hit will whiff. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe if you're really good, like you can make really good use of this. But yes, it is actually like super confirmable. So maybe if you get the hit and you're on point, you can super confirm, right? But you have to confirm that they're standing as well. There is the other version which is heavy, and this one does actually knock down an opponent. But yeah, you can't super cancel. But both of these are negative on block. Like this is -12 and this is like -10, so you're punishable either way. The most practical way to actually use this move is just throwing it out in the neutral, because on a counter hit you're +4, which means you get a crouching jab, right? So you're gonna see a lot of Marisa players simply doing it in the neutral, fishing for the counter hit, and then comboing into her crouching jab, getting the knockdown, almost like 2300, 23%. That's pretty good, right? But hit confirming it into like the heavy kick version, I don't know. It's kind of hard. I'm not gonna lie. Then let's talk about Marisa's kicks, right? Her crouching medium kick, this one is pretty disjointed actually. The hitbox on this one is actually kind of insane. I will try to leave a link to it in the editing room, so you can actually like get to see how ridiculous it is. It got good range as well, so it is one of her better low shakes, and especially like at the end of rounds, like you can shake with it like that, right? The range on it is kind of deceptive, but you don't get much more out of that. If you happen to hit it out of a drive rush, it's gonna be +6, which means like you get a jab into the light uppercut slam, so that's pretty good. But outside of using it as a poke, and it is a really good poke actually, there is not really that much utility to it. It is 29 frames, which is kind of susceptible to drive impact, so you're gonna have to be careful about it. I don't know, like, it's okay. I guess it's okay is the best way to describe it. Next up, Marisa got her standing medium kick. Now, this move is pretty good as a poke as well. It's 11 frame startup, so it's on the slower side, but the range on it is pretty good. But the hitbox is good and it's active, so also makes it kinda good against drive rushes, like especially if the opponent is drive rushing from a really far distance, like let's say like a full screen drive rush. Like let's say from here, for example, if like a really far distance drive rush. I kind of like it for these purposes, but this move is mostly useful with drive rush, right? With you drive rushing, because the thing about it is it puts you in a really good position, right? It gives you like a +8 advantage. It's only move outside of like a charged heavy out of drive rush that give you this sort of advantage. So drive rushing medium kick is +8, and what is 8 frame startup? Crouching medium punch. Right? So you can fish with it like that, and if you happen to get the hit, it can lead to a lot of damage. Now it is also just really good out of drive rush in general. Let's here have Ryu do the jab and have him block. Like you can use it out of a lot of your drive rush shenanigans, and if you happen to get the counter hit, right here, this is a trade, but with from other like strings, for example, like this one. Like, yeah, you can go for stuff like that with it. It's really good as to use as a follow-up of drive rush, because you, like, if you get the trade here, you get combos. If you get the counter hit, you get combos. There is a lot of combo potential here, and obviously depending on what the opponent is doing, their delay, you can get some really good results. And if they happen to block everything, like let's say for example I did this and to the medium kick, I'm still in range to go for a regular grab or a command grab. So it is one of her best moves to use out of like these drive rush situations, right? Very rewarding in that sense. Alright, so let's now go over Marisa's heavy, starting first with her crouching heavy punch. As you probably can guess, this is her anti-air. So if the opponent is jumping at you and you want to use an anti-air normal, this is the move to go. Unfortunately, it is on the slower end. At 10 frame startup, it is somewhat slow, and you know, this game got some of the dumbest jump-ins ever, like a Luke or a Ken jump-in heavy punch. So it is somewhat prone to losing if you're not doing it early. Right, especially against Ken and Luke, it can be hard to anti-air them. But if you're early enough, you will likely get the hit. Right now, something that you also have to be careful of is that this move can get empty jumped. Right, the hitbox isn't that amazing horizontally, so your opponent can empty jump and punish it. So you have to be careful. This is an anti-air that is pretty good, but you have to be careful when you're using it. Now there is also like a charged version, and the charged version is like 21 frame startup, so it's really slow, but it puts the opponent in a juggle state. Right, like here you can get a juggle, and this sets up good situations, but you will mostly be using this in like combo situations, like for example here in the corner, this will get like a relaunch. I will leave you combo section at the end, but yeah, mostly anti-air and some combo utility. Now, next up, let's talk about her heavy punch. And this is another one of Marisa's key normals and one of her key moves in the neutral in general. This is another workhorse for this character. Her standing heavy punch got a target combo attached to it, which is heavy punch, and this target combo leaves you at a +2 advantage. So you might be wondering, well, this is amazing, but this got a lot of issues with it. First of all, it got a gap, right? So there is a gap here. The opponent can always interrupt. I guess you can play the annoying I'm gonna try to parry game, but I don't really think Marisa needs to do it that way. But there is also other issues, like if you're going for this, they can OD Shoryuken, which will beat you. They can even drive impact the gap here. So if you're way too reliant on this one and the opponents call you out for it, you can get punished. So I don't love it. I'll be honest, I really don't love it that much, right? But on hit, it actually is a natural combo and knockdown, and actually give you pretty decent Oki situation, right? But where you will mostly be using this standing heavy punch is two very good situations, two very practical situations. The first one is as a whiff punish, because this is a stupidly good whiff punish, right? Marisa moves forward a lot, as you can see. So if the opponent whiffs something, it's very easy to get the whiff punish here. And the hitbox is like very horizontal as well, so even catches like low moves such as Ryu's crouching medium kick. And on this punish counter, you will be +7, which means you get like the medium target combo, which is like the party started, because here you're gonna get like a lot of safe jumps, a lot of setups, you can drive rush into more combos, etc. So this is a phenomenal whiff punisher for Marisa. Absolutely phenomenal as a whiff punisher. Now another way that you will be doing, you will be using this move is out of drive rush, right? And this is really good to catch opponents who like to backdash. This is, from my experience, like the most practical way I've been landing this, because if the opponent is blocking, right? Let's not have him backdash first. If you drive rush standing heavy punch, and as you see, like the move moves her forward a lot, so you don't have to drive rush that long to get like really close to the opponent. It puts you at a +1, so you can start applying pressure with command grabs or like going low. You can do a lot, right? But the thing is, a lot of the times after like charging a Gladius, opponents will try to backdash. Right, like Ryu here will try to backdash, or even like after blocking something you do, people would typically like to stay out of your Gladius pressure, and one of the best ways is to backdash. You drive rush heavy punch and then you catch them. This happens so much. Watch Big Bird and how he plays Marisa, and you will find him landing this like 80% of the time. If you're expecting the opponent to backdash, this is absolutely phenomenal at catches, but you need to do it out of something that's kind of plus, right? And again, you're gonna be +7, so you get the medium target combo. I don't know why I'm failing it. Right, you'll get the medium target combo, and this can also lead to all sort of knockdown pressure. So it is really phenomenal in that sense. Now, this is also really good to use as a DP punish. Obviously, you can go for the uncharged version, but this only leaves you at a +7, so you don't really get that much here. But if you are like block the DP, you can fully charge it. Will combo in this punish counter state into her forward heavy kick. Right, and now you're landing like massive damage. This is like 50% for a DP punish. So all around an absolutely phenomenal move. Like it's really one of her best moves and one of her most practical moves to use in everything in the neutral game, right? Marisa also got a down forward heavy punch. This is an overhead, right? And like I said, double hitting overhead, which is alright, but practically you will be using this in like two different situations. The first one is just like a drive rush overhead, because at this point you're gonna be +4, so this means that you get to combo into jabs, into knockdown, or you can use it after that specific sequence, after this, like the EX slam launcher slam, because this sets up a safe jump, right? Let's here have Ryu do an OD Shoryuken on wake up. Right, this is a safe jump with Marisa, and now he dies. So this is mostly where you will be using it. The double hitting thing, I don't know, maybe like for like a round ender, like maybe you can do that, but mostly it's gonna be drive rush on wake up or just for the safe jump setup. It's not really that useful outside of that. Marisa also got a back heavy punch, and this normal is good. This normal is really good. It's really good in combos. You've probably seen it all the time, especially after a drive rush, because it's cancelable, so you can get a juggle. And the thing about it is like her only, I shouldn't guess only, it combos into the heavy launcher slam, as you see, so you want to land it as often as possible, and the startup on it is like decent at 9 frames. You want to land it as much as possible because it can give you like really good damage in combos, right? And there is, as you just seen, there is like a charged version, and the charged version is also plus on block and will natural juggle without needing to drive rush. So for example, if I do this, right, the standing heavy punch, the back heavy punch here will reset, but the charged version, you can like continue on the juggle without having to drive rush beforehand, right? So it is good in that sense. A really useful move in combos in general. But on offense, this is also pretty good, because when you do it that way, the charged version is gonna be +4 on block, so you get to continue on with your pressure. You can kinda like cheese with it and harass the opponent. Now the reason that this is really good is more often than not after knockdowns, like you can hear people would be afraid, so like you can go for a command grab or charge your heavy punch. And if you happen to get it, you get the charged version, you get the regular one into like the heavy launcher slam, and this will lead to a lot of damage. So in like knockdown situations, if you know they're afraid of the command grab, this is one is really good. And there are a couple of situations where this is auto-timed, like after the light launcher slam, drive rush. Like let's have Ryu here drive rush backward, or like we come backward. Right, here is trying to jump. This is like a guaranteed one that will get you a lot of damage. So pretty useful all around. Now let's talk about her kick normals, right? She got a sweep. This is a sweep. You're very rarely gonna use it, It's a nothing sweep, not really much to go over with this one. She got the standing heavy kick. This one, I think it's far too committal as far as a roundhouse to use, because it's like 44 total frames. That's a lot. That is a lot. The range on it is also alright, but not phenomenal. But this is rewarding if you happen to get like a whiff punish. Like here you whiffed his crouching medium kick. If I get this whiff punish, it's gonna launch him. And you can get like follow-up juggles here. So in that sense, I guess it's good. If you're a little bit up closer, like you can get a back heavy punch. Right? So that is good, I guess, but it's risky. Like it's one of these moves that you can use, but they are risky. Like it also low crushes, but you can use medium punch. Honestly, mostly with Marisa, your neutral is gonna be like Gladius, Superman punches, I guess poking with medium kick every now and then, going for a heavy punch, and that's pretty much it. You're not really gonna be using it that much from my experience, especially against good opponents. Now, obviously, just like everything else, like you can charge it, and the charged version is +1, but at a range where it doesn't really matter, so I don't love it. Finally, we got the forward heavy kick. This has got a target combo. Forward heavy kick, heavy kick. You're never gonna use that. Forget about this target combo. It's trash. Now, the forward heavy kick itself, yeah, now we're talking. This is the enabler for the gigantic Marisa damage, because this is a move that combos into the EX. This is Sparta Kick, right? And notice this even after the 2 hit, we're still at 100% scaling. So you're still doing like mad damage. So this is a move you wanna land as much as possible if you're getting like a combo, because oh my god, it will lead to so much. And also like you can get the heavy launcher slam out of it. Pretty much the best route if you want to land the Sparta Kick into mad damage. This is the one. But this normal is also fantastic to use in mix-up situations because of drive rush. One thing that you have to know about Marisa is when you happen to say like medium target combo, right, and you wanna do like a medium into like drive rush command grab, it doesn't work. See here, Ryu, he interrupted me, right? If I try to go for the command grab, I can't. If I try to use like a back heavy punch, right, I can't. If I go for a crouching medium punch into the command grab, I can't. But forward heavy kick, this one actually allows it. This is the one where you can force the 50-50, right? You will get the counter hit command grab and you will get the damage. So this is really good at enabling you that. Now, you can also do a lot out of this one. Like let's say for example the opponent is gonna try to OD Shoryuken, right? Like you can bait it and block. If the opponent try to use a drive reversal, there is also an option here. Where is the drive reversal? I guess like you have to set it from the outside. Drive reversal active. Yeah. Right. So here you is gonna go for a drive reversal. You can like react with this one into like level 1 super, and this will give you a punish. So this pretty much guarantees you're forcing a mix-up, right? Leads to massive damage and guarantees you forcing a mix-up. And that's why more often than not, like when you see Marisa's like block at first hit, right? When you see Marisa's land her like heavy punch into the safe jump, you're gonna see them do like a jumping heavy kick into the forward heavy kick, right? It's always gonna be this, because now you have enough frame advantage to land this and run the mix up against the opponent. And obviously, like if you get the hit, like you're gonna do massive damage, right? You're gonna combo to the back heavy punch into massive damage. So it's very rewarding and easily the best move she got to force 50-50s on your opponent. So let's now go over Marisa's notable air normals before we move on to her special moves. And Marisa is not generally a character that's gonna be jumping a lot. Her jump in general is kind of floaty, and her jumping attacks aren't that particularly amazing, but there are few notable ones. The first one is the jumping light kick. This is her cross hub, and typically if you land this at like near the head height or the upper body, you will be at +5, +6, so you get jabs, light jab into the light uppercut slam. This is the typical combo. Now you can actually land this very deep, right? Hit it very late, land it very deep, and then like you'll be able to land stuff like back heavy punch into big combos. But this is unlikely to happen. Like outside of safe jump setups, it's very unlikely that you're gonna land it this way, right? Because now it's very easy to block. Like at this point, this is very easy to block, and the opponent will likely move out of the way. You know how it is. So yeah, this one is good. She also got this jumping medium. This is fantastic actually. This is one of her main anti-airs, and it's very consistent. The first part comes out really fast, so if you want to chase your opponent, if they're jumping at you from the cross-up distance and you want like an anti-air to cross-ups, this is very good, right? Even on a neutral jump, you will likely get the 2 hits, it will spike down the opponent, and you have a lot of frame advantage. You get to press at this point, right? So this one is very good, one of your key anti-airs. Now she also got like a hold heavies, like you can hold her heavy jump-ins, and this will spike down the opponent to the floor like that. These aren't that particularly useful in my experience. They don't even give you like additional frame advantage. Like this is the regular jumping heavy kick, +11. If I fully charge it, you still get the +10, +11. So it's almost kind of the same thing, right? And on hit, they're not that rewarding. The reason you may want to consider doing this sometimes is if the opponent got an air normal that you can empty jump. So if the anti-air early and you do this, the hitbox doesn't extend until later, so you can catch them, make their move with, and then get the jump in. But this is a rare occurrence, and like I said, Marisa is not typically a character that jumps a lot. Outside of like safe jump setups, you're not gonna be jumping all the time with this character. So that's about it for her air moves in general, right? Now let's talk about the special moves, right? Because Marisa is a character that predominantly plays with her specials. That they're all very good. The first one is Gladius. Gladius is fireball, forward, and punch. Obviously got light, medium, heavy, and they go different distances, right? Medium is slightly longer, heavy is the longest one, light hits at a closer range. So this is kind of the idea, and these moves can be charged. Now you can think of Gladius as your main poke. This is your main fireball, and this is the main way that you can approach the opponent. Gladius, if you play the character like Balrog, it's very similar to a dash straight, and it's your main control tool. When you're here in the neutral, like at this range, you can do a lot with Gladius, right? Let's say for example that we got a kid that's gonna walk forward and heavy kick, right? If I charge Gladius, I can absorb the hit and then like punish him, right? This is one of the things you can do in the neutral as Marisa, or even just do it early and not hold it, and this will hit him, right? You can get the counter hit, or even like whiff it, because Gladius on whiff, on regular whiff, it's actually kind of hard to punish because you can play around with the timing on when you're releasing. Like you can fully fully charge it or let it go at any point. You can actually play around a lot with the opponent and the ranges, right? So in the neutral, this is key, and this is also kind of useful as an anti-air sometimes. Like let's say here, kind of jumping, right? I'm charging Gladius and I absorb the hit and I let it go and I punished him. One thing that is actually important to note here is if the opponent is doing an attack that hits low, you will be hit out of armor. So if Ken, for example, here is gonna do the sweep and I'm charging Gladius, he will hit me out of it. So this is kind of the main weakness of Gladius, but then like you can walk backward or like poke with something like a medium kick, walk backward and get the whiff punish. This is the neutral game of this character. Gladius is your main poke, it's your main tool in the neutral. So what you're gonna be doing, make sure you are mixing up your timing and mixing up the version, sometimes whiffing the light and then going for the heavy, sometimes charging. This is also very good against fireballs, like Ken, for example, here doing a Hadouken. right? Depending on the range, like you can Gladius and punish him, and this is also very good against a character like Guile. Gladius exerts a lot of pressure against the opponent, and obviously you can use it in block strings as well. Like if Ken is blocking, you do normal into Gladius, crouching medium punch into Gladius, and this is very good at chipping at your opponent's drive gauge, right? A normal into Gladius, just that almost took an entire gauge, and if I'm doing like the target combo into Gladius, this is also taking a lot of drive from the opponent. One thing that is also really important to know is that the move does absorb a single hit of armor, so this can be useful against some characters. I guess I'm gonna have to change, but let's for example bring up someone like DJ, right? Because Gladius also have like other applications. The armor, you can use it to bait reversals. Let's say for example here that we are gonna fight DJ, right? I'm gonna have him wake up with his OD Jackknife Maximum, that is his OD reversal, right? Now the thing about Jackknife Maximum is that it hits on the ground once. Like it's only one hit grounded. So say for example I knock him down, I do a drive rush. See this? I absorbed the hit with the Gladius, and then I can continue on and get a punish on him. Right, so this is one of the ways that you can use it. Also in block, this can be done. You can do like the same idea. Granted, here you have to hold the Gladius, right? If I just do it right away, I'm actually gonna get hit, but I have to hold it. Let's do it one more time. One thing that you actually kind of have to do in this situation is do it like a half circle, but yeah, you have to hold to absorb the hit, right? So you can play around a lot with this move, and like I showed you in the previous section, there's a lot of mix-ups here, and you can do like OD Gladius, and this absorbs more hit. So yeah, there is a lot of give and take in this sort of situation. Gladius is very important. Now, one other thing that is pretty important to note is that EX Gladius or OD Gladius got armor on frame 1, right? Here he's doing like 2 lows. Alright. Right. So he's gonna do like a double medium. Right? You can do something like that. It got armor, it will absorb the hit, and it's actually really great. Like if you think the opponent is doing something with gaps, EX Gladius armor frame 1, you armor through, special cancel into level 3 or level 2, and you're doing massive damage on a reversal callout. And OD Gladius is totally safe, right? If you do it, even point blank, you're -2, totally safe, and it's very plus. If you happen to hold it, you're gonna be +4, and this does a lot of chip to your opponent drive, right? The OD Gladius, this does a lot of chip. Right, so this is a very important move for this character, and obviously very useful in combos, and actually leads to Oki as well. Anytime you land Gladius, you can drive rush, and I didn't need him to do the OD maximum here. Right, yeah, anytime you land it, you can always drive rush and get some pressure going, right? And even if he blocks that one, block after the first hit. Right, you can then go on into other stuff, right? So very, very good. This is a very important and very good move for Marisa. Next up is her Superman Punch. And Superman Punch for Marisa is one of her main tools in the neutral as well, because this low crushes. Like if for example here DJ is doing his light, or the jumping medium, right? You can jump over his normal like that if you time it early enough. You don't do it like, you don't do this. It's not something that you can do on reaction. You kind of have to do it preemptively, right? And like yeah, it can knock down the opponent and then does a lot of damage, give you Oki. If the opponent happen to block your Superman Punch, this leaves you at a plus frame. Regardless of the version, light, medium, and heavy all leave you at plus frames. So again, in the neutral, you can either try to like fish for a whiff punish, go with Gladius, or go with Superman Punch if you want to be more aggressive with your approach. This is also pretty good against fireballs, because in this during the jump, she can actually bust through fireballs. Right, here she armors through, but you can actually outright just jump through it, as you just seen. So if the opponent's also doing a lot of fireballs, the Superman punch can actually be really, really good. Right? You can also use this to throw bait the opponent, especially especially like the EX version, and especially near the wall, right? Because let's say, for example, here the opponent is gonna wake up with a jump or wake up throw, so you can use it to throw bait, and still it's plus. Like if you use it that way, it's still kind of plus. So yeah, you're still gonna be able to exert pressure on your opponent after. So it's really good in this sense, right? And the good thing about it is this move, when you hit it in a juggle, it gives you like a safe jump setup, right? So now we'll have him wake up with the OD Jackknife Maximum, right? This is a safe jump setup. There is like two very important safe jump setups, but generally you're gonna like do a back heavy punch into the heavy Superman punch, and this anywhere on the screen gives you this safe jump, and that is very, very good, right? Now also there is the EX version. The EX version does this wall splat near the wall, so it's actually really good. And also this breaks armor, so if the opponent is like doing something like a drive impact, but I have to do it early. It's gonna be hard to it's gonna be hard to show it, but yeah, as you see, this actually break armor. So if they see it and try to drive impact you, this will break armor, right? Now there is also one really cool thing about this is let's say, for example, that the opponent did something on block and then try to drive impact. Because a lot of people like will try to like go for gaps here and try to drive impact you, so this is very good against that, right? Because they can drive impact the string here, right? If you're going for the regular one, they can drive impact, so the EX breaks this armor, so that's actually really good. And near the wall, this will lead to like a safe jump setup as well, or you can go for the level 1 super. So yeah, very useful move all around. And obviously one thing I think I forgot to mention is that Gladius will armor through anything, and if you fully charge it, this obviously does like this animation, but you are more whiff punishable in this instant, right? This is kind of like the best thing about Marisa, is her armor almost deletes drive impact from the game, right? This does massive damage against the opponent. So obviously you probably noticed that armor, but I forgot to mention specifically that it's good against drive impact. Marisa also got this is Sparta Kick, and these for the most part are combo moves. You can use them to poke against the opponent in the neutral, but they are very susceptible to DI. Here if the opponent DIs, yeah, you're very, very open. So I don't really like him that much for that. And they are pretty negative. Like the light can be -6, medium will be -4, heavy is a little bit safer, but again the startup is so long, and it's 53 total frames of animation, so yeah, they're kinda long. But in combos they are fantastic, especially if you want to combo into level 3, because from range, like if you do something like this into level 3, the level 3 here is prone to whiffing if you're special cancelling out of Gladius, but if you're special cancelling out of the Sparta Kick, yeah, this is very consistent. And obviously the EX Sparta Kick, this does massive damage, right? Especially like, I will leave a combo section at the end, but yeah, this is the main way that you can lead massive damage with Marisa, right? So these are predominantly combo tools, and like with punish into them, into the big damage, and they give you good OK situation as well, right? Marisa also got the uppercut slam, and there is the theory is like from light attacks, the crouching jabs, you will get the light version. From the medium attacks, you will get the medium version, and from heavy attacks like back heavy punch or forward heavy kick, you will get the heavy version, right? This is the idea. Light does actually decent damage, and like auto setup a back heavy punch setup. Like let's say for example here we're gonna set DJ to wake up with a jab, right? Just so you can see what I'm talking about. So he's waking up with a jab. right? This pretty much sets up an auto meaty, like with drive rush into fully charged back heavy punch. So it's really good for that. The medium one, you will not be doing that often, but yeah, it's a decent combo tool if you're going for the medium target combo and you don't want to spend. And the heavy one is pretty great because it leads to juggle state, right? And here, like, you can do the Sparta Kick, and this does good damage, or you can use a drive rush and then like back heavy punch into either the Sparta Kick, or like you can go for the Superman punch for the knockdown. Again, you probably have seen this safe jump setup 1,000 times before, right? So heavy is good for combos. Now, one thing that is actually pretty cool is if you happen to get the heavy one in the corner, you can fully charge a back heavy punch and then cancel into the light Sparta Kick, or cancel into the light Superman punch, and this does actually give you like a safe jump setup. Again, let's have him do the OD jackknife maximum. Right, this does lead to the setup, so it is actually pretty great. In the corner, the good thing about the heavy one is that you can get like safe jump setups without having to spend EX meters. That is if you're in the corner. If you're mid-screen, yeah, you're gonna have to drive rush. And the EX version is a launcher. The good thing about it is that it will combo from the medium target combo. So you can use this for damage, right? Now, these moves are also interesting because they are anti-airs, right? Especially the light and the EX version. So if DJ here is jumping, the light version got upper body invulnerability. And actually, let us pick a character where we can show this better. Let's say pick up Blanca, right? We're changing a lot of characters here. But yes, the light version and the EX versions are anti-airs. And that is really, really good. Because this means that you can use them against moves that are airborne. And against jumping, obviously. Like let's here have Blanca do his heavy ball. Right? See this? Like the light version does have invincibility. So this will outright beat his Blanca ball. And the same for the EX version, right? And obviously you get combos in that. If you're jumping and you're early enough, yeah, you can use this as an anti-air. Also useful against stuff like a Kami dive kick, that sort of deal. It's also pretty good. Now, the thing about it is it kind of moves Marisa forward. So if, say... Right, this is a good jump, right? Like if, say, Blanca is jumping from a range like that and you do it, Marisa can move forward, and this makes it so that if the opponent is jumping like directly above you or like it's gonna cross up, it can be hard to use. That's why most Marisa players actually default to just using the crouching heavy punch, and it is on the slower end, still like a 12 frame starter move. So yeah, like from very close distance like that, it can be tricky. But if you're far, this is pretty consistent and pretty good, especially against moves like a Kami dive kick or a Blanca ball, right? Now what's left is her counter, and Marisa counter, this is a stance, right? And the good thing about this is out of it, like you can go for a punch, and this does an overhead. If you do punch, she does this like little sequence. You can go for the kick, or if you're up close and you press the throw, light punch and light kick, you get the grab. This is obviously a command grab, doesn't deal massive damage. Like 2500 isn't insane, at least as far as command grabs goes in this game. It's still a decent amount of damage, but nothing too crazy. Obviously, a lot of the setups with Marisa is gonna be about landing this, right? Like for example, I showed you that we can do like light into dash up, charge it back, heavy punch, right? So maybe instead of doing that, you're gonna do that into the command grab, right? Or like you do a drive rush into the command grab, right? It's a command grab, so it's very good at opening up people. The low and the overhead, like outside of trying to catch the opponent on like off guard with them, I don't think they are that particularly useful. The counter is useful in a lot of cases though. That's the raw counter, right? For example, here if Blanca is doing something like a Blanca ball, it's very good at knocking him out of it, right? And then and from this instance, like you get a safe jump setup. If Blanca is doing something like this, for example, right, you can anti-air with it. If he's doing like a block string and you want to challenge the block string, right? You will do it, and this puts you at enough frame advantage. Now you are actually plus in this instant, so you can mix him up, right? You can go low, or in the same situation, like I can go for the command grab here. Right? I can go for the command grab. I pretty much get to set a mix up, right? I can do whatever I want. I can check him, I can go low, I can go for the command grab, I can do a lot in this instance. It sets you up in a pretty favorable situation. Now, one thing that is also pretty great about this one is the armor activates on frame 1. So if the opponent, even if they're doing something that is like have very little gaps that you can jab, something like this, I can actually use a counter. Right? And again, this also sets you up in that +2, +3 situation, and now you get to mix up the opponent. Now, one thing that is also pretty great here is if you are in burnout, this is one of your main ways that you can deal with drive impact. Right? Like here, if I'm in burnout, let's put me near the wall, and Blanca did something like this, right? Which is very common, like this happens all the time. Right, you can armor through, and now I actually get to punish. You can actually punish Blanca in this situation, right? Because you will have like a lot of plus frames, so now you get to punish him, and now he is the one who's put in the corner. So if you're in burnout, this move is also one of your key defenses. You can also like Gladius here, if you can, and this can knock down the opponent as well, but this one I find it to be easier to use because Gladius have startup, and because it have startup, the opponent can block in time. But if you want to challenge a block string, and if you're in burnout, if they're just doing like even like raw drive impact, yeah, it's very, very good. Alright, so let's now quickly go over Marisa's super, starting first with the level 1, and her level 1 is pretty interesting. It does a lot of damage, as you can see, 2200, that is pretty good for a level 1, and you can fully charge it, and when you charge it, it's even slower, but it does almost like 29%, that's a lot, and it is easy to combo into. Marisa got a lot of target combos, so medium punch, into level 1, that works, forward medium punch into heavy kick, this will work as well. Anytime you get like a juggle with the heavy uppercut slam, you can land it this way, or the EX, so a lot of chances to land it. And the fully charged version, you can easily land this whenever you land the EX Superman punch near the wall, right? Because this does this cute like little wall splat animation. So here you can get the fully charged, and yeah, this does massive damage, right? So let's say for example I do something like that, right? This combo you can very easily set up the level 1 here. It's a fully charged version, and yeah, like 40% or so for a level 1, yeah, that's pretty good. Now defensively, this move is kinda weird. Because it actually does have armor. So let's say for example, we're gonna say that Aki is gonna do this sequence. They do it all the time. Right? You're gonna get this alternate version which will absorb the hit, right? And I will punish her. And here it acted even weirder. And you get it. So in that sense, it's good. Now, unfortunately, this is throwable, right? So if, say, for example, Aki did the command grab,
I wouldn't move if I were you.
right? So if she did the same sequence and I try to go for the super, I'm gonna get grabbed, right? So this is an okay reversal at best. As Asia is, Marisa's like the rest of her stuff, like even the counter is also throwable. So her defense in general against throws is kind of weak. Now, one thing that is good about this move is that you can also use it offensively, and especially against like drive reversals. For example, you land a forward heavy kick, and then you want to force a mix-up into the opponent. You can buffer it, react to the screen freeze, and bam! Punch Aki out of the blend. So it got offensive utility, but defensively, like, it just gives you more rewards than her already existing tool, whether that is the EX Gladius, the counter. It's just a little bit more. It's just a little bit more damage in that situation. If you want a fully reversible, like a fully reversal option, level 2 is the way to go, right? And level 2 does pretty good damage. You can kind of easily combo into it, because anytime you land an EX Gladius, let's not have her block. Anytime you land an EX Gladius, you can cancel into her level 2 and bam, massive damage, 43% for that. That's crazy, right? Again, one of the supers that is easily combable. Burn you! And this is probably her best reversal option. It's pretty fast as well at 9 frames, so yeah, this one is pretty good. Also, you can use it against opponents who is like throwing fireballs, like from some ranges. It can work like that. This is actually kind of the reason that some players like to use like modern Marisa, because now she have like a damaging answer to fireballs, and even if they are like neutral jumping, right, you can get away with stuff like that. Dash up into level 2, yeah, it can be very good. So this is your key reversal option. Level 2 super is your key reversal option. Now, what is left is the level 3, and Marisa's level 3 is ridiculous. The best ways to combo out of this is after the first hit of the light uppercut slam, right? You can combo to level 3. Gladius, if you're up close, or if you're far away, be careful because it can drop. Like if you're doing it from distance like that, the level 3 can drop. Or the best way, the absolute best way is from the Sparta Kick. Yeah. And this level 3 is actually kind of nuts because it carries the opponent straight to the corner. Right? This will carry the opponent straight to the corner. Now the interesting thing here is if your opponent doesn't have any meter, like let's say for example we're playing against Aki, and Aki doesn't have any supers, right? And let's say that Aki is in burnout, which, you know what, this is possible because even if she got like a bar and I hit her with a level 3 super, she's gonna be in burnout, right? After this, she's gonna be in burnout. After the super, if you do a drive rush, crouching medium, and then cancel that into the drive impact like this is guaranteed. Like the opponent can't escape this, and obviously Marisa then gets like a mad damage on a follow-up combo, right? So this sets you up in a ridiculously good situation, right? And obviously if you're using the critical art version, it also does amazing damage and sets up the situation. The super is also pretty good against fireballs. It's fully invincible, so you will go through the fireball and get to punish her again. Punish counter, so this is gonna destroy. Let's actually have her block here, right? This is, at this point, this is pretty much a checkmate. This is a checkmate, right? And obviously then you get like the mad damage. So her level 3 super is ridiculous. One of the main reasons that Marisa makes a ton of comebacks because when you land it, even if you don't want to go for the specific sequence, you can threaten with a lot, right? You can simply just walk up into DI, you can forward heavy kick into drive rush. Like at this instant, let's actually save the state if it's possible, right? I can like walk forward into DI. I can like forward medium kick or forward heavy kick into command grab. I can go for this. I can go for the Superman punch, right? So it puts you in a fantastic situation to make a comeback on the opponent. And that is pretty much it for Marisa. She is a pretty simple character, all things considered. Her neutral takes a little bit of time of getting used to, and if your whiff punishing is on point, she can be very rewarding because her damage output is insane. If you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like or a comment, helps the channel so much. I will be leaving the link to the Patreon, Discord, Twitter, and Twitch pages in the description. Thank you so much for watching and stay safe.